So, I'm getting ready to see The Grudge now. The thing is, I did not like a single Grudge so far. I thought the original, and hear me out here, because this is a very weird reason not to like a movie. The cinematography of the original totally threw me off. Because it was like this totally grainy yellow that looked all like 4:3 formatty, and it was around the time we were getting like first HD TVs, 4K already creeping up around the corner for the first time, and it just looked so fucking shabby. And I don't know why, but like the scares all didn't really work for me on the first one, because the cinematography just felt so outdated when I saw it for the first time, which is a really weird reason not to care for a movie. I gotta admit, maybe I should give the first one a rewatch, but I also did not like the remake with Sarah Michelle Gellar at all. It seemed so much fuss about like nothing at all. Like they were constantly scared of stuff, and I didn't understand why. Let's hope this third one is better than all the other ones. Oh, and I just got word that the director / writer of this one is the same one who did Through the Eyes of My Mother, which was one of my favorite films of 2017, or was it 16? 17, yeah. I really like that one. Let's hope he doesn't fuck up. So I guess one can safely say that this was so far the best movie of 2020, but also the worst. That's stupid. No, honestly, I just saw The Grudge, and I actually thought this was the best version of the film so far. I was really expecting a bloated jump scare fest, but I didn't get that, like, at all. In fact, I do have to say there are a lot of jump scares in this, but cleverly snuck into the whole thing. They're effective. So the movie generally does exist in the exact same universe that the previous 3 American entries have existed, and to tell you the truth, it feels a lot more like a sequel than a remake or a reboot. It conveniently combines a bunch of different stories and twists them all into one. It actually almost feels like an anthology that in the end comes together as one big, huge thing. And not a lot of people can pull that off very well. And you gotta really love how Nicolas Pesce, I hope I pronounced his name right, can tell a story, because that is what he was really good at also in his previous film, Through the Eyes of My Mother, where everything seems so scattered and lost, and you don't know what's coming until in the very end it kind of all falls into place and works out perfectly. And as I said before, I was expecting a bloated jump scare fest. Instead, I got a jump scare fest with a lot of cool gore, which I was not expecting at all, with all the like commercial hype this movie has been having, and with a lot of interesting characters and twists and turns you don't really see coming. Like, I've heard people say that this is predictable. I don't think it's predictable. Maybe I'm just stupid, but I was surprised by a lot of shit here, and especially the ending. The ending really brought it home. I was actually like really happy. And this is also a film that's easy to talk about. I'm not gonna like spoil anything to you guys here. It was so well shot at times and so well edited that it managed to like freak you out and confuse you at the same time, which I thought like played a big part on this. I wish there was a version of this that was shot on film, because this movie could have used a bit more graininess, but those times are over. We don't make movies on film, or rarely. Performance-wise, we were actually doing really well here, especially like if you take a look at Lin Shaye from the Insidious movies. She like nailed out of the park, but she's always been a good actress. Like, I never don't trust what she's doing. William Sadler, very nice. Also, the effects that were done to de-age him in this movie also worked really, really well. The child actors were problematic. They were actually really, really bad in this movie again. Like, it's so weird. We live in a time when child actors are either complete shit or are doing like masterful jobs, like in It or in Stranger Things. And the child actors sometimes really take you out of the movie. Here's also another thing about like the way the story is told. You have to pay attention. You have a lot of characters in the movie. And if you don't care or follow who is who, you will get bored very fast. And maybe that is a critical point, that the movie could have like taken another 20 minutes to introduce its characters and make the audience more aware of who is who exactly, because you really have to pay close attention, because if you don't, you're going to be out of there. But you know, people like to have their horror films on a 90 minutes runtime, but this one could have used another 20 just to clear things up. It's rare. It's a rare occasion that I say a film would seem less boring if it's longer, but this is one of them, because these characters are crafted out. The only thing is they just don't have enough screen time for you as an audience member to truly, truly give a shit about it. And I really liked the way they played around with the Ju-on curse and the way they incorporated like the older stories from the franchise. It was really a reboot that stays true to the original, but also brings in a lot of new ideas that like you aren't really expecting. And I generally like the direction Nicolas Pesce is going here. He is going to be someone who will provide us a lot of scary little films in the next couple of years, and I'm sure that the roaring 2020s will have a lot of wonderful little horror films by him. So don't listen to Chris Stuckman and other reviewers who tell you that this movie is boring. This time around, listen to your dearest void here and give this movie a shot. Come in there somewhat sober and not with a wasted mind, and with a lot of concentration so you can pay attention to all the characters, and you will have a blast with this. Like, I had a great time. I really had a great time. Like, this was a nice start to the new decade, and my favorite version of The Grudge so far. Yeah, I'm gonna go there. I know. You probably disagree with me, but it's like that. Deal with it. Bleh.